MAGA Republicans are too afraid of their constituents to continue to hold town halls, so we have seen them canceled and abandoned across the country. But in lieu of Republicans actually doing their job, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is traveling the country to hear from those most affected by Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And of course, that really infuriates the both of them. But it did especially last night when Governor Tim Walz took a very special and very viral jab at Elon Musk that has Elon absolutely melting down in a Twitter tantrum that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. And before we get into that viral clip, there were a couple that I wanted to check out from the rally that Tim Walz is encouraging Democrats to continue to fight, and I think that's important right now.
But I think there's a whole lot of people that said, I worked really hard to elect Democrats, and then not much got better. And it frustrated them that we weren't making moves that improved their lives. I learned that lesson. So when we got a majority in Minnesota, and it was a 1-vote majority, I don't care, we passed everything. Paid family medical. The road to authoritarianism is littered with people telling you you're overreacting. You're not overreacting. You're not overreacting. And I think, look, yes, I wish we weren't in this, that we'd have got this done and we weren't in this goddamn mess. And I said it at some of these rallies, kind of selfishly a little bit. I said, I really wanted to win so I did not have to see him on TV for 4 years. Because it's exhausting. And there's other things we'd like to do. We would like to be with our grandkids. We'd like to do this. We'd like to go golfing. But I think this gentleman brought up the point too is, I've heard this before with people. It happened in the first inauguration. I went down to the mall on the day after, in January 2017, and I was really disappointed. And I was joined by a million friends, mostly women, who were out there in that mobilization. And a woman told me, she said, I can't believe I'm fighting this shit again. And she said, and then she broke into a big smile. She says, as much a privilege as it was then as it is now. I feel the sense of privilege. Look, this is our moment. I don't think it's overstating. I know that there's a tendency to say you're living in the most interesting time. You know that curse and blessing, may you live in interesting times. Look, we're here. Nobody's going to sweep in and save us. Nobody's going to come up here, and be this charismatic, lead us there. It's going to be protests every Wednesday from 4 to 5:30. It's going to be countless things. And we're not. I'm not asking us, if you buy a shirt with a Democratic elected official on it who's buffed up like Rambo or whatever, I'm going to tell you not to do that. That is just I'm not talking that thing. But I am talking about how do we become a party that is a party of our communities, a party where everybody feels welcome, and that we're bringing in folks that they feel like they have a say in this, rather than they being talked at. So it might be, something we can... I understand what I have is I have a platform and a megaphone, and my goal in doing these town halls is I was hearing that primal scream of, God dang it, do something. They're destroying our country and taking our freedoms and moving towards authoritarian. And they got all angry when I talked about fascism. I said, quit exhibiting fascist tendencies, and we won't say that. And I think that happens. But Ben, what I would say is, I'm curious with this group, what would it look like to you if it felt like Democrats were actually doing the right work? So can we do that? 70% approval rating, way more popular than Trump. Much bigger vote, much bigger mandate, much bigger mandate. He had the House and he had the Senate. There was no charismatic Republican leader. There was John Boehner and Mitch McConnell, and they said no to everything, and it slowed the agenda. And then make sure you tell us, what would you do differently? Universal health care, strengthen Social Security, fund public schools, expand labor unions, fight climate change, get money and Musk out of politics and make it easier.
We still have agency in this moment, and we have to use it. If we shut up and be quiet and I don't know, really do what Chuck Schumer did and bend the knee to Donald Trump, he will continue to steamroll our democracy. But we have the ability right now to use our voices, to use our agency, and to fight back. And it's what Tim Walz is encouraging, not with just what he's saying, but his actions, traveling across the country, organizing, making sure that we translate this anger that people feel into real action. And he's also translating it into real Elon anger and aggression, which is exactly what happened after this clip went viral.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you.
Elon responded to that clip of Tim Walz saying, sometimes when I need a little boost, I look at the J.D. Vance portrait in the White House and thank the Lord. You get a little boost from looking at J.D. Vance? I don't know what that means. You do with that what you'd like. But why are you in the Oval Office again? Why are you in the White House? Why are we doing this? Aside from the fact that you're trying to, and failing at mocking Governor Walz, it's just a reminder that Elon Musk is in a place that he shouldn't be, and that is our government trying to take it over. But clearly not a great response to Walz saying your stock is falling and your company is collapsing because no one wants to buy your swastikars. It's like, how is he even going to come back from that? He can't. Elon's approval rating is plummeting and everybody hates him. Republicans have been convinced by Donald Trump to hate EVs, and Democrats, we don't like fascism, so we're not going to buy Elon's cars. So he's in a pretty bad spot. And all he's been doing lately is complaining about how there's been vandalism, or what he calls domestic terrorism, against him, which it's not to light a Tesla on fire, which of course nobody should be doing because the Tesla will light itself on fire, which is another reason you shouldn't get one. But it's all been bad. It's all been so bad for Elon Musk. Oh, boo. We saw him last night on Fox go and cry and complain that everyone hates him, and they should. And we should use this anger, this feeling of rage, rightful indignation against Musk right now. And it's not just Tim Walz who's out across the country doing it. We also see Bernie Sanders and AOC having their own little leg of a tour, which Bernie talked more about right here.
We're showing one of the pictures of you speaking here, and you've been going to all over, I know, to Colorado, to Wisconsin, all over the country. I know you have a lot more stops planned next week. What you just said about Elon Musk and what Trump are doing now that he's back in power, it's safe to say there's a lot of despair in the country over what Democrats are doing, how they're responding to this. You're an independent, but you caucus with the Democrats. I want you to listen to what happened at a town hall tonight with Democratic Congressman Glenn Ivey.
You aren't even working together on a shared strategy. And that is failure. We are not interested in hearing that you are in the minority. We know that. We want you to show some of the backbone and strategic brilliance that Mitch McConnell would have in the minority.
Is that what you've been hearing out on the road, Senator?
I think there's a lot of discontent with the Democratic leadership, and I think with the entire Democratic Party. And one of the things that I and Alexandria will be trying to do is get people involved in the political process, either as independents or as progressive Democrats, to stand up for a working class in this country, which is being hammered every single day. You know, real inflation accounted for wages have not gone up in 52 years, while the very richest people have become much richer. Our healthcare system is broken. Our housing system is broken. Our child care system is broken. We're not making the progress we need to address the climate crisis that we face. And yet the majority of the American people believe that we should have a government that works for them and not the few, which is what we have right now. So I hope we can rally the American people in so many ways to understand the critical moment that we're in and to get them to stand up and fight back, not only against Trump, but in the richest country in the history of the world, we should not be the only country, major country, that doesn't guarantee health care to all people, or paid family and medical leave, or have 800,000 people sleeping out on the street. We're the richest country in the history of the world. We can have a government and an economy that works well for all.
When it comes to that effort in the Senate, do you think Senator Chuck Schumer is the right person to lead it?
It's not. I know everyone's beating up on Chuck, and I strongly disagree with him. Strongly. No one is in the caucus more critical of Schumer than I am. But it's not Schumer. It's the caucus. It's not the caucus. It's the Democratic Party. You got to take a deep breath and understand that you have a Democratic Party. You know, you got a Republican Party, which is owned by Musk. Any Republican who defies Donald Trump will be primaried by Musk, unlimited amounts of money. In the Democratic Party, you got a party that is heavily dominated by the billionaire class, run by consultants who are way out of touch with reality. The Democratic Party has virtually no grassroots support. So what we are trying to do is, in one way or another, maybe create a party within the party of bringing millions of young people, working class people, people of color, to demand that the Democratic Party start standing with the working class of this country and take on the very powerful corporate interests that have never had it so good.
Bernie is so spot on about the ways that Democrats have to be turning out and showing up everywhere to message against Elon Musk. But it's not just at the national level, because we are also seeing in individual states where Elon is trying to take his corruption to the next level. Of course, we talked about Elon's attempt to buy a Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin, but there is also some corruption happening in the state of Delaware, because after the first female chief judge of Delaware ruled against Elon's $56 billion pay package, Musk decided to start attacking her as some radical left activist judge, as we're hearing a lot from Donald Trump lately. And Delaware's governor responded after receiving about $1 million from a businessman who had a long-standing grudge against Delaware courts, that he wanted insiders to get it right for Elon Musk, as they are trying to help him win over this case, blatantly corrupt, and are doing so with a new bill, which is SB 21, written, in fact, by Musk's own attorney. Yes, his own attorney, trying to give him a carve-out so he can benefit over this $56 billion pay bump and giant bonus. And it's not just him. It's other tech billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg, who is trying to benefit from this exact same bill so he can make billions and billions more. That is what it is always about for this. When the governor was pressed, he tried to avoid the question. He tried to skate accountability. What a shock that is. Someone tied up with Elon Musk is trying to avoid it. But we need to take action against this bill right now, which is scheduled for a March 20th vote in the legislature. We need to make it incredibly clear we are not going to allow anyone to cave to billionaires, especially Elon Musk. So I have a link in the bio of this video, in the description, and in the pinned comment that you can give your support for the legislators who are going to be pushing back against Elon. We have to do it everywhere. This is a great way to do so. And if you want to support our channel, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.